Welcome back. Well, it's still a brand new trading week. Time to get direction of how the economy will shape investor sentiment and what investors should be looking at this week. Well, we had results there from Nigerian Breweries PLC, and it's a big one. They crossed the trillion naira mark in revenue returned in revenue, and that's a return to profitability for that brewer there. We'll see the results there. It's a big one, and you know, looking at the revenue there, it's up 80.8%. Cost of sales 764.5 billion. That's up 97.5%. Gross profit 319.9 billion, up 50.5%. Then the loss on FX transactions, that's up about 2.8%. I'm sure some will say that's quite favorable. So a couple of a flurry of earning reports, you know, coming out there. This latest one for the full year, that's 2024. All right, let's bring in Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed. He's the CEO of Finance with Mukhtar, joining me right here in the studio. It's great to have you. Good morning.
Thank you, Nadi, on a Monday morning.
On a Monday morning, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's another week and another naira, you know, has to be made.
Yes.
You know, this time, depending on where your money is. But looking at Nigerian Breweries there, they're crossing the 1 trillion naira level. That's for revenue. That's
fantastic, fantastic, big, good news. That stock has suffered. Remember, negative shareholders form, but we need to give the management team of Nigerian Brewery thumb up for how they've been able to turn around that company. I mean, from a negative to where they are. Remember, they did the right issue, and also the parent company also believing in this economy, and there was a really need of restructuring. Closing of some of their breweries that they think were not profitable, concentrating in other breweries that were. They did a lot of changes, and again, FX volatility, like you said, 2.7%, is very good compared to where they were coming from. Also, we still have that negativity in terms of the final year result. But you look at the 3 months result, and we got this negativity now. But looking at the over year, in a 1 year, then you definitely know that this company is out of the wood already. And I think investors shouldn't take their eyes off Nigerian Brewery for now, because it's a stock that will begin to tick the market very soon. They are not paying dividends, but you can see that the prospect is very, very high. No more negative shareholder form. They have a positive shareholding form. That means they won't be borrowing any longer from banks or other corporate entities. So that gives them enough form for expansion. That gives them enough room to take a breather a little. And so definitely good results.
And I guess that should be on the back of the naira being quite stable.
Well, you know, the naira.
Talking about the FX losses.
Yeah, you know, the naira being a corridor of stability. I don't like saying stability. I say corridor because you see today is 160, today is 1570, 1550. But at least we are having that 1,600 to 1,500. Hopefully, with the government benchmark, budget benchmark of 1,400 to the exchange rate, that could be a big game changer for companies and Nigerian Brewery. So fantastic at the current rate of 1,500. We are doing this. Imagine what 1,400 will do for Nigerian Brewery going forward. But I think, again, the breweries, I think they are not looking at that. They are looking at how much they can perform. Remember, the Nigerian Brewery have always been known to perform better towards the last quarter of the year. You and I know why that's happened. So definitely it's a stock investors should need to watch out for.
Right, and you know, talking about the FX losses and you know the naira being stable at this time, if we carry on, you know, like this, and hopefully strengthening, you know, comes in for the naira, that means we might start reporting FX gains for most of these companies.
Yes, Ladi, but you said it in your report, but there's a challenge. The challenge is still that low oil price that we are definitely going to see in the next 4 years. Definitely going to see, you know, Donald Trump's price of oil and
drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, drill, baby, drill, and also beginning to encourage export. And you can see that he's trying to build a relationship with Russia. Remember, Russian oil has not been in the international market for a while. So he's trying to build a relationship with Russia, trying to ignore the European Union also. That also is a strategy that could bring down price of crude. So definitely, that's why we are skeptical, we are optimistic, and at the same time skeptical that let's just be able to drive down crude, exchange rate to 1,400. Now the beauty about it is that for local refinery, it's good news for Nigerians, for the majority of Nigerians, for the average Nigerian. That means low oil price favor a low price of PMS, and you know our economy is PMS driven again, and that is largely driven now because we enjoy that now because we have local refinery, and they also have this naira to naira exchange swap deal to buy crude oil. That for me is what Donald Trump coming might not boost our reserve as it is, but might help our local economy for low oil price. We're already seeing the price war. We're already seeing some stations selling for $9.25, NNPC selling for $9.45, and others are selling. So we are going to enjoy that trade war.
So low
price war,
low oil prices, negative for government revenue, but positive for PMS prices. And it's also funny on social media. You see most of those comparisons when it comes to NNPC fuel.
No, I think that's
quite funny.
That's quite funny. That's for me. I think that was the marketing. I wonder why people go that far. Just leave that to them. Whoever is buying to do that, you don't come to social media.
Who cares which fuel lasts longer?
We've been buying those fuels thus far. We've not had any issue to compare. And the NNPC came out to say that some of our own fuels that we've been get them from Dangote refinery. So why I think that should stop.
So let's end the war.
Let's end the war. Let's enjoy that price war. Let's forget about the marketing war. Let's enjoy the price war. Exactly. I think the price war is good for us. Let the price keep going down, and then the average Nigerian. But unfortunately, the average Nigerian is not really smiling because the cost of transportation when petrol was above 1,000 it's still the same cost of transportation they are paying today, even when petrol has gone down to 900. So it's more or less still gets back that is the richer Nigerians that are enjoying this lower price because their own car consumption now has reduced in terms of price for them. But the average Nigerian is just up. We had
and that was what we're trying to avoid in taking out the subsidy so that everyone could enjoy.
But we are not seeing that. They might enjoy it in other space, but in terms of transportation from point A to point B, especially in Lagos, they are not. Even the government of Lagos State is planning to increase its tariff also in BRT buses. So you see, and despite the low cost of even diesel, and also despite using electric cars. So we need to begin to look as a government what we need to do to favor the downtrodden, not just some of this policy of this current administration. I can tell you it favor the middle class and the rich, but the average Nigerian have not really enjoyed this administration. So the administration needs to rejig its policy and see how it can help the average Nigerian.
Yeah, no, profiteering is something we need to really handle, in these parts. Well, let's get back to the markets at this point. We're seeing an announcement there by PZ Cussons to convert $34.2 million debt. They're converting that to equity. And that's for the parent company there. So should investors be worried, at this point? Because there's more shares.
Yeah, we should be worried.
Coming in.
We should be worried. First of all, before we're being worried, we have to also we hit them when they've done things that are not right. So when they've done things commendable, we need to commend them. With the Security and Exchange Commission, we need to thumb up for them for standing their ground for protecting minority investors. Remember that PZ was trying to delist at a price, and the SEC said, no, you cannot delist at that price. You need to give Nigerian investors more value. We need to commend the Security and Exchange Commission. We need to tell them that is what they are there for, to protect retail investors and minority investors, especially when they are Nigerians. So we have to commend the SEC management team for that. Yeah, looking at what the PZ are doing, remember that this current right, or will I call it right, or will I call it a share addition, is not going to go. It's only for the parent company, converting their loan of about $40.6 million into equity of about $36 million at a price of 23 naira 60 kobo. Now, remember when they wanted other Nigerian minority investors to delay, they were offering them 22 naira. Now they are offering 23 naira 60 kobo at the close of market.
Because of the parent company.
Yes, at the close of market on February 13th. And today, if you open the PZ, it's trading at 27 naira. So you can see why I say thumb up to the Security and Exchange Commission for what they did. Now, going back to that result, you are owing about 40 million, but you are just converting about 34 million. So we still have that outstanding of 6 million. They have also increased their holding in that company from 73% to 83%. So 83% leaving retail, more minority investor with just 17%. And so when you look at it, yes, ordinarily it should be good news, but we are still going to go towards that delisting if history is anything to go by. Remember Flower May? Things like this started happening, even if they are not on the same circumstances, the same scenario. But for me, I think the beauty is that the retail investors are being protected by the Security and Exchange Commission. And if today they say they want to delist, they would delist them at almost 13 naira, 33 naira, which is better comparable to what they were giving them tomorrow. But I can tell you, Ladi, the drive of PZ, the parent company, and PZ, the local company, is towards delisting. It might take time, but I still strongly believe that will happen.
How do you think investors should interact with that stock?
Cautiously. I mean, I can't be buying a stock at 27 naira when I'm not sure what it's going for. But remember, things like this have happened. Remember, O&O. So that's why I say history. O&O was there also at this price, trying to go out of the market. Security and Exchange Commission, not really Security and Exchange Commission here in Nigeria, but the Security and Exchange Commission in Johannesburg, South Africa, stopped them. And they came back, and a lot of Nigerians were skeptical at 5 naira, 8 naira. Oh, are they going to be delisted? Are they going to go in? And we didn't get to partake of it. Then one day we woke up to the news that they are buying up a development of Ajib, and today one day selling for 6. So in as much
over
as
500% profit.
So even if you are a cautious investor, what I would advise for now, being cautiously, then if you are an investor that is a risk taker, I think PZ is good to take.
Yeah, we know the risk takers will love to feast on this one.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a rate setting week right here. We're going to have the first one in Nigeria, and everybody will know what the new borrowing cost will be in Nigeria. So what are you seeing for volatility, for the markets? Do you think investors, do they care at this point?
I think they don't care at this point. It's pricing already. They don't care at this point what is going to happen. If you look at ordinarily what we should see a rate hike, and it has been coming, it has been there, it has become normal. So the market have moved to that, shove it off. Anytime it comes in, ordinary, a rate high should be negativity to the market. But remember, the market, because of inflation, even with the rate hike, what you get in treasury bill and fixed income space is not commensurate. And when you add that to what the market is doing in terms of dividend payout, in terms of capital appreciation, you still tend to go to the equity market and even go into all those commercial papers or treasury bills. So I think the market has priced in all that. And what will happen this week, Ladi, you and I know, is either they keep rates at what it is or they hike it. So whichever way the market is going to benefit from it. There might be a little bit of a shocker. Oh, maybe investors say, oh, digest the news first like always, and then begin to say, oh, well, it's not as bad as we think. Then what are the sectors that are going to benefit from it? What are the sectors that are going to suffer from it? We are beginning to see positivity in the industrial goods sector for the first time for almost a year.
Shout out to Dangote
last week, and that is largely driven because of the news of their expansion in Ethiopia. So that could be the game changer. But that a rate hike today will not favor local companies, especially even if they are listed in the market or even when they are not listed in the market. Cost of funding goes up. So, but again, for those big companies like Nigerian Breweries, like PZ that we just spoke about, rate hike would definitely not affect them any longer because they are not going cap in hand borrowing. But a company like MTN, the communication company, the shareholders form is still negative. They are also doing commercial paper. So they will keep doing that until they get to positivity. So rate hike, the market has already adopted it into
right. But we'll definitely still be covering it to find out how it goes here. But thank you so much. It was great starting off the week with you. That was Mukhtar Mohammed, CEO of Finance with Mukhtar. Thank you so much.
Pleasure always, Ladi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.